What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and first points dropped this season. Can't say I'm too surprised, honestly, just because the fact that it's West Ham. It seemed like a game where we should easily take the 3 points because West Ham have really been awful, except for their game against Everton last weekend. And so, of course, that's going to be the team that we drop our first points to because that's how we always are every single season. It's that one team that, oh, that should be no problem whatsoever. I mean, come on. We've beaten better teams than this, and they're doing terrible. So let's give them, let's give them a point. That's the Chelsea way. Stupid. But anyway, yeah, I can't. I mean, honestly, you look at the game today, and it's our worst performance so far this season for sure. But it's not like there aren't elements of what I've seen and what I've talked about so far this season in this performance. The two biggest differences that is mainly the reason why we didn't get a goal today, or even any good chances except for like one or two. The main reason that didn't happen today compared to the other games where we've been scoring and creating chances throughout the entire game. One big difference: Hazard, Giroud not turned on. It was their worst performance so far this season. Both of them decided to have a bad game at the exact same day against West Ham, of course, because it's a team we should easily beat. So not having two of your star players turned on and in the attack is a big deal. And also the fact that we just did not have the right subs from Sarri. It's been something where he's been able to rely on that super sub, whether it's Giroud, whether it's Pedro coming on for Willian, or Willian coming on for Pedro. Like I said, they tend to switch off. One of them not having a good game, where you take them off and bring on the other one. That's been his go-to thing. Or at the beginning of the season, he brought on Giroud, who would work his butt off and get us some chances. So that's been his thing. He's had subs, those two, that could change the game for him. He didn't have to do any thinking. He didn't have to really put a lot of thought into it. It's just, oh yeah, you put them on, they're going to score you a goal. They're going to create chances for you. He didn't have that today. So what does he do now that he doesn't have his fallback options? Well, nothing. He makes like-for-like changes. He brings on Murata for Giroud, which, yes, he created that one good chance. Honestly, should have finished it. But aside from that, didn't bring anything that Giroud wasn't already doing. Brings on Rudiger, or Cahill for Rudiger, because Rudiger had some sort of knock. Hopefully it's not too bad. And then Barkley for Kovacic. That was it. Didn't change anything. Going into halftime, I'm thinking, you know what? We need to change this up. We're not getting enough width. We're going down the middle too much. They're packing it in the box. We need to get it wide and work the ball from out there. Work them around. Nothing changed. Second half, same exact thing. Nobody's getting wide. Nobody's providing the width. My dad said it exactly right. It reminds us of the Chelsea from those off years that we had. Under Mourinho, under Conte. Those off years, the slow build-up play, the pass, touch, 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 pass, touch, touch, touch. No width at all. There's no movement. That's what it felt like today. And it's weird because, one, we haven't seen that at all this season. Because Sarri is supposedly the attacking tactician person, and yet today there was no attacking intent at all. I wouldn't say no attacking intent. There wasn't any smart attacking intent today. It was stupid stuff. It was, let's just go straight down the middle. Let's try to dump it in the box and see what happens. Let's just try to force it every time. Let's try these little flicks and let's try to dribble under pressure. Where's the attacking tactician now? And especially against a team like West Ham. Now, don't get me wrong, are they playing better now? Yes. But that doesn't change the fact that we should be better than West Ham. And so, you look at this game, and all I gotta say is, I'm not seeing anything to prove me wrong yet. All these people talking about Sarri, how he's a great coach, how he's going to do great things here. Today, I've had all these little issues that I've had that I've been concerned about because we haven't really faced a good, solid team yet. Even today, we did not face a good, solid team yet. And so, getting these wins, it's mainly come from the fact that we have these world-class players on the team that have gotten the job done. It's been nothing that Sarri's done. It's been the players on the field doing the job well. And so today, whenever we needed a change, whenever we needed Sarri to do something about it, he didn't do anything. He didn't change anything. He didn't tell them to do something different. It was the exact same throughout the entire game, and we did hardly nothing in the attacking third. And then you look defensively, honestly, we should have lost. I mean, there were two clear-cut chances. One was a one-on-one where literally he could have put it anywhere, and I guarantee you that Kepa would not have made the save. But I'll talk about him in a second. And then the other one, the header from Yarmolenko, completely misses his header. If he had just put it on target, honestly, probably would have gone in. So you look at that, they had two clear-cut chances they should have finished. Somehow we got lucky and they didn't. They didn't get lucky on the other side. I mean, you could look at Murata's one where it hits Fabianski in the face and say, okay, well, they got lucky on that one. Fair enough. I'll give them that they had one lucky chance that maybe if Murata had put it somewhere else, probably could have gone in. But that was one, and they had two. And honestly, just looking at the game, they looked like the better team. Because where we were picking up the ball and slowly moving it around, whenever they got it, boom, right back at us, pass, keeping the ball moving quickly. They looked more fluid in attacking than we did. And that's frustrating because this is not only a West Ham side that aren't having a good start to the season so far, this is a West Ham side that are not having a good start to the season and lost their best player today. They didn't have, what's his name? I'll remember it later. Arnautovic. They didn't have Arnautovic today. If he were on the field, we would have lost 3-0. He would have crushed us the way we were playing today. Slow, just awful. It was the worst performance I've seen under Sarri, and the fact that he did nothing to make any changes, it just makes me feel like, why are all these people saying all these great things about him when literally he has done nothing so far to really prove himself? It's been the players on the field. His tactics, yes, they're more attack-minded, and I'm glad that we're a bit more confident. I'm glad that he's brought at least that to the club. But as far as his decision-making, the players he's put on the field, the changes he makes whenever we need to make a change, it's nothing that no normal coach couldn't do. Honestly, I'd expect even a normal coach to have made the right changes today to get us back to get us into the game, because we were never honestly in it. So, with all that being said, let's look at individuals. First of all, Kepa in goal. The one-on-one chance, I mean, he was pretty much lucky the guy didn't put it anywhere else. I mean, he was big. He did make himself big, so there's that. But from a keeper trainer, I mean, he didn't really do anything to step out. He was just kind of planted there and just hoped for the best and got lucky. For the header from Yarmolenko, I mean, he's like backing up and falling backwards on his heels instead of on his toes ready to make the save whenever the header comes in. So thankfully, Yarmolenko didn't put it on target because probably would have been a goal. And once again, all these little things, people were probably like, so what, you noticed that because you're a keeper trainer? Well, yeah, I noticed that, and I'm a keeper trainer, and we bought him for how much again? $85 million. That's too much to pay for a keeper that can't do stuff like that right. You pay $85 million for a keeper like De Gea, the one that keeps you in games. You don't pay $85 million for a keeper that can't even make a simple movement, like that most keepers will make anyway. So still frustrated with him. The back line, kind of hit or miss today. Aspilicueta, a couple times he got run by, so not really convincing from him defensively. And then in the attack, he really didn't provide much of anything. His crosses were pretty poor. Rudiger, maybe a little bit legged from the long trip from Greece and all that. But yeah, he seemed a little bit slower today, and then on top of that went off with an injury, so that's concerning. David Luiz, pretty much the exact same, goes into stupid challenges, pretty good with the ball coming forward, but that's about the only positive thing he brings defensively. Never know what's going to happen. There's one point where literally I was thinking to myself, it's moments like this that make me think he doesn't need to be in defense. I think it was Antonio he had gone into a challenge with and just completely whiffed the ball because he wanted to try to be fancy with it and try to actually take a touch and pass it to someone instead of just put your body through it, put your head through it. But no, he had to try something stupid, and then the ball went behind him, and thankfully Rudiger was there to cover for him, because if not, Antonio's threw on goal. So, yeah, he's still a head case. He's still not going to help us defensively. The only thing he provides is going forward. He can sometimes put that good ball in behind. But when you don't have much movement, there's not much point of having him out there. And then Alonso was just a non-factor today. Hardly got involved in the attack or on defense. Should have been the one to provide us width today, because that's what your fullback should do. But he wasn't. He's still doing his whole cut inside thing like he's a striker, and he's not. He's supposed to be a fullback that provides the width for the wingers. But who am I to say that? I'm not the coach, so the coach should be telling him that. And either he wasn't listening or the coach didn't say that, so take your pick. And then in the midfield, Jorginho, a lot of giveaways today, a lot of poor passes, just really, really sloppy from him. I wonder if part of it is being tired from the Europa League game, and if that is the case, then why did we not play somebody else in midfield? I don't know. I find it bizarre. Barkley subs off Kovacic, who didn't play in midweek. At least I don't think he did. I'm confused. Hang on. Jorginho and Conte both played midweek, and I'm pretty sure they both played midweek the full 90 minutes. So why are we not making a sub there? And on to Conte. Further proof today that he doesn't need to be going up in the attack. I know I talked about him a bit. Yes, he can be in the attack. Yes, he does make good runs. But the fact of the matter is, on the ball, he's not the most clever. He's not the best passer. So why not just keep him in defense where he is at his best? That Jorginho role that everybody talks about, oh, he's the best there, he's the best option. No, Conte's the best option we have there. Because he gets to keep the passes simple. He doesn't have to try all these, quick 1-2 passes. He's not being marked by 3 guys. I just don't understand it. Conte is honestly not that effective going forward. And yet, we still try it. And Jorginho, honestly, defensively, doesn't bring as much as Conte does. And even in the attack, his passes today were not that good. He had 1 or 2 good passes. The rest of them were either giveaways or simple passes he should make any day of the week. And then Kovacic, probably our only positive player today, just a lot of work rate from him. So, of course, he's one of the ones that gets subbed out, because I don't know what it is about some of these managers that come in. If there's ever a player that is your most positive player when everybody else is playing like shit, they're the ones that's going to be subbed out. It's just one of those misunderstood facts of life. Oh yeah, Kovacic's playing well, get him off the field. Barkley, go on. So, frustrating for him, just because, he's doing a great job right now. He's really providing a lot for us. Once again, I hope we can get him on a full transfer, because we really need a player like him in the midfield. A lot of good work defensively, but also very clever in the attack too. So, in the front three, all 3 of them very ineffective today. Hazard just didn't look like himself at all. Of course, all this talk about, is this Hazard? Is he now peak Hazard? Is now he's at the best part of his game? He's only getting better, blah, 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 blah. So, of course, he has a terrible game today. Giroud, didn't really see much from him. I know he was working, but it just felt like he was slower today. It felt like his challenges weren't nearly as good. And I'm just like, what's going on? Why are these 2 that have been really dominating so far whenever they're on the field together? What happened? Why are they not linking up? Why are they not able to find each other as well? It just seemed off today. It seemed really, really off. And then Willian, like I've said before, whenever Willian or Pedro start, typically they don't play too well. And so, yeah, he didn't play too well. And it made me wonder why, first of all, why is Moses our only option there? Second of all, why not give somebody else a chance? He played midweek, as did Pedro, and I know Pedro's out injured, but why not give somebody else a chance there? You got Moses, you got Hudson-Odoi that can play there. Honestly, Zappacosta did okay being out on the width. I don't know. Why not give somebody else a chance instead of making him play again? And for the full 90 minutes again. So, I will say Willian had probably the best chance of the game that he completely messed up. It was a nice through ball from Jorginho over the top, And all he had to do really was just lay it back across for Murata, who was right there at the top of the six with nobody on him. And instead he tries to go for a shot and just completely mishits it. And I'm just like, all right, Willian, you just went from having a 4-day to having a 2-day. So all that's really frustrating. You look at the subs that came on. Murata was the first one on for Giroud. I don't understand it. I don't understand why you would just make a striker for striker switch when you need a goal desperately. Basically, you're just saying, we'll just switch him out for somebody else. Great. Don't change anything at all. Perfect. And then Rudiger, like I said, injury, so Cahill had to come on. I'm wondering why Christensen's not on the bench, why Cahill is all of a sudden. Did I miss something, or did Christensen just all of a sudden become bad? Because I'm pretty sure last time I checked, he was still a really good defender. And then the last one was, like I said, Barkley on for Kovacic. And this one honestly pissed me off the most because it felt like, once again, Sarri has no idea. He's just like, this is a sub I make every single game, so I'm just going to do this again. But we need to make a change. We need to change something. So I decided to come up with 3 other subs that could have been better. First of all, Barkley on for Conte. Not necessarily my first choice, probably my last choice of the 3, just because I do think Conte, you need him on the field to keep them from scoring, because our defense was pretty shaky. Cahill had already come on, which means we're even more shaky defensively now. So yeah, taking him off is not the best option, but at the same time, if you need a bit more attack and less defense, Conte's the one to come off because he's better defensively than he is attack-minded. So that's something to look at. The next one would have been Barkley on for Jorginho. This now pushes Conte back into the position that honestly makes him more effective. Barkley is now more attack-minded than Conte is in that position, so he can switch over there, and now he's taking the ball further up the field. Honestly, Barkley didn't do bad coming off the bench, so I wouldn't have minded seeing this change. He had a pretty decent effort that Fabianski made a good save on, so I would not have minded seeing this change just because it provides more attack and allows Conte to be more effective as well. So that probably would have been the more likely change to happen of these 3. But my number 1 switch would have been either Willian or Hazard off and Moses on. And this is just, you need something else. You need a player who's going to stay a bit more wide, which we know Moses will do. And it just provides more energy, more legs, because he hasn't played recently. He hasn't been involved recently, which means he should be kind of fresh. He should be willing and able to run. And so for me, I just feel like this would have changed things. And maybe even bring him on and bring off one of the 3 midfielders. Bring off Jorginho or Conte and go with 2 in the midfield. Go with 3 in behind the striker now. Now you've got more going forward. You've got Willian and Moses on the wings with Hazard in the middle. Now you've got so much more attack in there. But no, just make the same old subs that Sarri always makes because he's stubborn and can't change. And it's why we're not going to do well this season. It's why we're going to struggle for most of the season because he can't make changes. He can't do anything different. It's always got to be the same. And it leads to games like this. And now we've got Liverpool twice in a row in the League Cup and then in the league itself. It's going to be hard. And we've got to adjust to a situation where we know the other team is going to be just as good, if not better than us. We've got to change for that. We've got to make adjustments to prepare for that. And from what I've seen, Sarri's not going to. It's going to be the exact same formation. It's going to be similar players fitting into this system. Nothing's going to change. And so when Liverpool put 2 or 3 in on us early because our defense is so weak, we're going to say, all right, well, we need to make some attack-minded changes. We need to get some better players out there. And he's going to make the exact same subs. He's going to switch the strikers. He's going to switch the midfielders. He's going to switch one of the wing players. And that's all it's going to be because he can't do anything different. Now, if he does and we win both games, hallelujah. I'm glad he made the change. But based on what I've seen so far through these first games up until right now, I'm not expecting it because he's shown nothing different. Now, granted, I didn't see the Europa League game because TNT is stupid, bought out all the rights, and then didn't show any of the Europa League games on the TV because I don't know, great business decision. I'm going to buy all of this and not give it to anybody. I hate some of the companies in the U.S. right now. I hate some of these TV companies because they're getting so dumb. But I mean, from what I saw in the Europa League game, from the subs that I saw, from the highlights that I saw, it seemed like a similar game. You know, we created some chances, we got one goal, and then that was about it. We made the exact same subs. So, yeah, I mean, that's about all I can say. It's still frustrating for me. It's still getting very irking to see that nothing is changing, that everything is staying the exact same. I'm sure, you know, the people that disagree with me probably will still disagree with me. Will probably still say, oh no, you just gotta wait, you just gotta give them some time. I think 6 games into the league is plenty of time to see exactly what to expect from a coach. You know, not necessarily his system. Maybe the players are still buying into the system. I'll grant that, but you can see what you're going to get from the coach by the 6th game. You know, you look at Unai Emery. First couple games, pretty poor from him, but by now, I mean, Arsenal, a bit better team under him. They've started to listen to him more. You started to see some of his changes a bit more. You look at us, it's the exact same thing every game. We're very attack minded, we're very possession based, but we struggle. We get that goal, but then defensively we're giving up chances, and the subs are all the same. The subs are exactly the same thing every single game. Sometimes the personnel is different, but it's the same type of subs. There's just player swaps in the exact same position. No matter the situation, no matter what team we're facing, it's always the same. So I don't know. That's about all I can say from this. Obviously, I'm frustrated he dropped the 2 points. Not just because it's West Ham, not just because, you know, Liverpool also won yesterday, which means now we've fallen behind them, but just the fact that it was just a bad performance. I mean, it was really ugly to watch. It was boring. It was slow. Not at all what I've come. Honestly, that is the one thing I have not expected under Sarri, is for it to be boring and slow. That's not something that I've seen from his teams so far. So the fact that that happened today is kind of a concern. You know, what's going on in the dressing room? Why are players not playing to their full potential today? And that's something else to think about as well. But anyway, I've said enough. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this game? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next game. Peace out.